Revolutionary Comrade Emmanuel Johnson, members of the Folk Estates, fellow Liberians. Today, the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, for the first time in its history, political parties, is delivering a speech which calls the state. Our nation is in crisis. The state of our nation is weak. Our nation is rather polarized. This was evident yesterday when about 8 senators and more than 25 representatives and the entire bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia boycotted President Boakai State of the Nation address. This is deeply troubling. Liberia is in decline. The democratic and economic gain we made in the last 6 years are being eroded. We now see the Unity Party trapped in the very lines that they told the Liberian people to get elected. There are too much confusion and disunity in the land. All of these require a spoken response that expresses the raw emotions and feelings of our people during these troubling times. Fellow Liberians, our distinguished international development partners, in November of 2023, President George Manuel Weah conceded political power to President Boakai, then President-elect. This concession was made several days before the National Election Commission completed the announcement of the election results. In conceding to President Boakai, President Weah demonstrated an act of supreme patriotism. He broke ranks with Liberia bid to pass of contested elections, which often marked by violence and Supreme Court challenges. He signaled a new dawn of a new day in Liberia peace and democracy. Well before others believed that our democracy was weak and fragile, President Weah showed that Liberia too was capable of democratic electoral strength that we see in a vying democracies such as the United States, Britain, Germany, and other parts of the world. President Weah handed President Boakai a peaceful country and democracy, a Liberia in which the rule of law was respected, in which no president, no legislator, or justice was above the law. 1 year after this most peaceful democratic transfer of political power, Liberia now lies in a democratic and rule of law mess. The Unity Party administration of Joseph Boakai is now teaching the Liberian people that the rule of law has no meaning or no value. That the law is whatever the president and his legislative friends say the law is. That only ordinary Liberians are supposed to respect and uphold the law, while the Unity Party beats out, disregards and disrespect and violates our law. Fellow citizens, because the rule of law is so important to the working of any society, to have citizen rights, to justice, health care, monetary reform that I am on this. The maximum number of those workers on the existing government payroll cannot be more than 1,000. So the maximum that can be saved due to gold removal is about $1.8 million. In fact, instead of removing 6,000 workers, the UP has hired more than 6,000 of their partisans, increasing the government payroll to about $10 million extra. For this reason, the UP administration has been hesitant to release the actual expenditure information before the Senate. The UP is afraid that it promised to the IMF to bring salary to $270 million by the end of 2024 will soon be proven to be a lie. Compensation will end at $310 million or more. which will cause a big problem for the government on the IMF program. The government said it added 15 million to increase salaries. But how can you add 15 million to 310 million and still produce 315 million? You can do the math. There is still more confusion. Talking of the normal happening within the government. Fifth, the international climate financing. We heard yesterday in the president's speech that the government, we heard yesterday in the speech of the president, which was secured by the CEC administration, that the UP should be given credit for this. The Weapon Project, or the Morelos Metropolitan Climate Resilience Project, is 25 million financing project by Green Climate Fund. All of this was secured by the CEC administration. Let the UP not take credit for projects they did not initiate. Mr. President, the people misled you. Fellow Liberians, having corrected some of the key misinformation in yesterday's sermon, we move to compare and contrast the CEC first year achievement versus those of the United Party of the President. President Barker was very little about the UP achievement. President Barker said very little about the UP achievement on its 100-day program or in its first year. In 2018, CDC inherited a broken economy with declining international aid, underperforming domestic revenue, two payroll systems that widen inequality among government workers. Despite these challenges, the CEC administration stood on this weak foundation to achieve the following needed first year and handed the UP a solid foundation by the end of 2023. One, we constructed more than 75 kilometers of community roads. We placed more than 2,300 health workers on the payroll in our first year. We increased the salary of medical doctors from $700 to $2,000 our first year. We kept the price of 25 kg bag of rent at $13 in our first year. We sent more than 20 medical doctors for specialized training abroad. We declared free tuition for college students at public universities and free Wi-Fi for high school students. We broke ground for the 14 military hospitals, which were completed the following year. We launched a proposal agenda for transformation in 9 months. We digitized the registration.
The South charges on the beat. To get your information. Okay, tune to Spoon to get your information. To be part of our discussion. To know what's happening in Liberia, what's happening at the ministry, the agency. Tune to Spoon. We're here to make sure that you get nothing less than the best. Spoon gonna tell you what it's like. This is the late night show, the late night politics. Spoon gonna tell you what it's thanks to all of you joining us now online. To tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to those of you joining us via the social, via radio. Sorry. For starvation, just don't Spoon FM, Fabric, Super Spoon, and the host of other radio stations that are relaying the program across the country. We want to appreciate all of you tonight on this edition of the program, the Late Night Show. Well, thanks for joining us. It's always good to be here to talk Liberia, to bring the issues to you as they unfold, and making sure that we bring you critical analysis with a diverse panel here every night, and also that affords you the time where you can have a say on those very issues of concerns. We want to encourage you to please share the program, kindly share the show in your different group chats across your social media handles. Where exactly you're joining us from tonight, regardless of where you're joining us from, you can share the program especially for those of you on the social media, and to our folks online, uh, to our folks in Radio Land. Sorry, you can follow the show, and we appreciate all of you for being with us tonight. I want to recognize just a few of you. I see Ambassador uh, Minipile Banks. Thanks for joining us. Sabatu M. Young Jr., we appreciate you. GG Amer Elise, thanks for joining us. Um, I see Hanel Suku Cole Jr., we appreciate you as well. Francis Ray, Habaku Suki Cole, Suku Cole Jr., um, Ifoman Irreplaceable Queen, we appreciate you. Nathaniel K. Hill, thanks for joining us tonight. Yes, so we appreciate all of you for coming on. Please share the program as you join us. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight with a whole lot happening across Liberia. Yes, we can always come on to talk about those issues. We all want to see Liberia do better, and one way we can go about it is to ensure that the people who are um, part of the decision making process, the people who are close with the responsibility to address some of the key national issues, can hear you make the analysis, call their attention to those issues, as we all wish to see a better country every single day. So again, welcome to everyone to the program. Well, there's a lot happening across the country. Let's do the rounds. What are the issues? Let's go for the updates quickly, and then of course we're gonna come back to kickstart the conversation tonight. There's a whole lot happening across Liberia, and most of you may be aware that there is this reaction that's coming from every corners to the president's State of the Nation address. Most of you watched earlier today the video or the press conference from the what's the team? The CDC had a press conference today reacting to the president's State of the Nation address. They had their own issues raised. They made their own analysis of some of the issues the president spoke on, and of course, it was this evening, or let's say this afternoon, when the CDC was able to speak to the State of the Nation address. Well, on the flip side, yes, and of course, we make some analysis around some of the things that the CDC is saying, especially being the immediate um, past administration. You know, we will have to make some analysis around that. The Jetty rubber plantation, a portion of the plantation was set ablaze, but then about some individuals there in Margibi County. Two of those believed to be the perpetrators have been arrested. They are currently undergoing investigation. Uh, the situation, as per the investigation so far, is believed to be an arson attack that was launched on the facility on the 28th of January. And so yes, the management working closely with law enforcement team, they've launched investigation, but the cost of the loss is put at 35,000 United States dollars. That's the worth of that's the cost of the loss so far. Um, More than 150 rubber trees were burned down before firefighters and community dwellers managed to contain the situation. So the two suspects are Joe Bono and Abraham Bana. Those are the two individuals that have been linked to the situation there. And so they've been arrested and undergoing investigation. Now, today there was the guilty verdict. There was a ruling from the High Court on this drug case. Most of you follow closely when Original Japan, that's not his real name. His real name is George Obi, but he's also known as Original Japan, and four others were going through the court process. They were being taken to court, um, following their involvement in this $6 million Liberian dollars drugs case. It was an allegation until their legal representatives and state lawyers had to go into the case. Today, the Criminal Code C uh, handed down a guilty verdict on George Obi, and the four others were acquitted. But George Obi, the man in the center of this entire saga, was brought down today by the civil law court. That's Criminal Code C, and so that's where we are with that. We also have the latest update on the fire situation in yes, on the 18th of December. Most of you are aware that the Capitol building got at fire. Since then, the Joint Security launched an investigation. This investigation is an active one, but some of the suspects who were charged and taken to court today, there should have been an argument, but the state prosecutor, prosecutors, sorry, have requested an extension of the time to present crucial evidence in the alleged Capitol building arson case before the Monrovia City Court. So this is just an update to the situation that's ongoing there at the criminal at the sorry folks. All right, so this is part of the process going on at the Monrovia City Court. And but today the prosecution presented the third witness, Peter Johnson, who was able to testify against the defendant in this case. And of course, as we move on, we're going to keep bringing you updates on this particular case, because this is one of the many cases that Liberians are looking forward to seeing what the outcome will be. Since in fact it has to do with the burning of the seat of the first branch of government, a public facility. This is something that's got a lot of people concerned. But our reporter, who was in the courtroom today, noted that Johnson presented photocopied WhatsApp messages, which he claimed were extracted from the co-defendant, Thomas Idrit's phone. And yeah, so this is part of the process, but the state prosecution, let's say the prosecution is now saying that they should be given more time. They're going to come up with more pieces of evidence. In fact, they have crucial pieces of evidence that they're going to come up with as this case progresses, but they need time to do that. All right. So, but on the flip side, the Senator of Grand Crew County, Senator Albert Cheer, presented a communication today to the plenary of the Liberian Senate, requesting that body to make amendments in several provisions of the Liberian Constitution. What are those provisions? What exactly does the senator want? He wants the tenure of legislators to be adjusted. He wants to see some adjustments, from that angle. to have the tenure of senators reduced from 9 years to 7 years, to have an amendment where legislators, or let's say representatives, tenure will be reduced from 6 years to 5 years, and also to have the pro tem tenure reduced to 7 years, and that of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, his or her tenure reduced to 5 years. So these are amendments that this particular communication from Senator Albert Chie is seeking to see, is trying to get the plenary to address. And this is concerning. There are mixed views on this particular thing. This entire process will see a referendum. Is going to get to that stage where, because once it has to do with constitutional amendments or what have you, then of course it needs to get the consent. It will have to get the consent of Liberians. Liberians will have to have a say in how that goes. We saw in 2020 there was a referendum. Continue some of those very proposers, but it wasn't successful. Let me put it that way, because we didn't get it to third that was required constitutionally to have those amendments made, and so the referendum was an unsuccessful one. And I remember vividly that at the time a lot of people shifted the blames, the failures of this whole process to the lack of education, adequate awareness and education on the part of the government, especially so when we had a by-election senatorial. No, that was a senatorial election, not even a by-election, but it was a senatorial election. Since we had a senatorial election in the country, and all of that, you know, a lot of people thought it was the best time. President George Weah pushed this thing. I mean, he was very much into it. He wanted to have those amendments done to even reduce the tenure of the president as well, to 4 years. That's what President Weah, Honor President Weah, they were calling for. That those were the proposals in the referendum at the time. So yes, Senator Albert Chie is bringing this back, and it's all geared towards seeing reduction in the tenures of lawmakers and all of those positions. Yes. So, but we look forward to see how that goes, because even up to now, the reception is great. The communication was forwarded to the Committee on Judiciary, and they're going to take a look at it and advise the plenary of the Liberian Senate as to how to proceed with this particular issue. Well, yes, most of you watched the videos as well when Representative Yeke Koluba on Tuesday was thrown out of session. And interestingly, this is not the lawmaker's first time to be thrown out of session. He's been he's on record for being that person who most times will be thrown out of session, even on the previous administration. Speaker Buffer Chambers, he went back to back with the lawmaker, the leadership of Speaker Chambers at the time. Yes, and so we're seeing a repeat of the Yeke Koluba saga. The lawmaker being thrown out of session, and there are different angles you want to take this from as well. And we're going to get into the analysis later, but yes, some thought that the lawmaker was disrupting session, and so because of that, there needed to be order in the session today, and so he had to be taken away. He was escorted by the sergeant at arms He tried resisting, but it was, it was a bit difficult to really resist. And so, but finally, he was thrown out of session. So yes, those are just some of the happenings, and it's very important that we can come on to talk about these issues because it brought us on um, the forward march of our country, the country we call home, Liberia. The interest of our country is what we all will always try uh, to protect. Yes, we always try to protect. Uh, all right, so well, we're gonna get into the conversation shortly. Um, uh, okay, so one quick one is that the Senate on today concurred with the House creating the National Tourism Authority, and this concurrence followed a motion by Senator Dillon for the Senate to act on the instrument, uh, and and this is coming from the backdrop that we have had the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. So the Ministry of Information has been that that arm of government that okay, so yeah. So the Ministry of Information would be that arm of government that will consistently propagate government's plans, let's say policies, government's achievements, and all of those different things. But there is the culture and touristic aspect of the function of the institution. And over the time, there has been several debates with respect to whether the ministry should continue on that path or whether the culture in order to have to see tourism at a whole different level in the country. There has been the debate to have tourism as a separate entity or to create a separate entity that will have the function that will function in that area to spearhead the touristic aspect of the country, and let the Ministry of Information be concerned about disseminating information and all of that. And so yes, the debate has been on for a very long time, and usually when those debates emerge, then you will have some of those who are at the forefront trying to get this through their respective lawmakers and all of that. So it's been a long one. I remember, from 2018, 2017. This is something that has been going on. The conversation has been on for a very long time. But today, the Senate finally concurred with the House of Representatives on that. So we're going to see um, the establishment of the National Tourism Authority, the creation of a National Tourism Authority that will take on the whole responsibility of making sure that tourism works in Liberia, that is not overshadowed. Well, but the other side of this thing is that there are some who see it as another window, another loophole, through which government resources is gonna keep going, because you're gonna have to hire more people, you're gonna have to pay more people to function at that particular institution. Of course, whoever, whatever it is, whether a director, minister, or whoever will be at the National Tourism Authority, that director will now have to get deputies, and a lot of other positions will have to be created. So from that angle, some people see this as something that is not necessary. Well, there are others who think that is very important because, look, in order for the country to fuel the impact of the touristic endowment it has, there will have to be a separate institution that will focus only on tourism. We focus on tourism now. Some time ago, the the assistant minister for tourism, she used to be Princess Tokolo, at the Ministry of Information. There was this program and where she spoke at, and there were lots of other foreign guests and all of that, and she was saying that as per her survey done at the time, and that was in 2021. Yes, as per the survey done at that time, Liberia had over 600 touristic destinations that tourists across the world will be eager to come and see, that could sell Liberia, that could project Liberia to the rest of the world. Over 600, pretty close to 1,000 touristic destinations. She said, look, we're only talking about Patawi Waterfall. We're talking about Manima Eco Lodge. We're talking about, yes, the Cape Mount County and all, but there are so many places across the country. If we were just to put our feet down and engage this whole tourism from with a mindset of trying to sell Liberia and trying to market our country through tourism, she was saying that there's just a whole lot that Liberia will stand to benefit. And so, yes, she was one of those persons who was very concerned about the need for that transformation, to have a tourism authority or a separate institution that will address tourism issues in the country. But then there were other concerns. With respect to the same salaries issue that others had. You're just coming create another ministry or another entity that's gonna be there, and the government will have to put something in the budget for them every year and all of that. Yes, but those are concerns they've been having. But she's not the only person, or the tourism thing is just one aspect. Recently, we saw the Grand Crew County lawmaker, Senator Nimeni Batikwa, calling on the government to remove the planning component of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and get it as a separate institution as we had it before, like the Ministry of Planning, that will be responsible to plan our city, the zoning laws, and make sure that everything is in place. That come up with the national plan for the country, how you expect the country to be laid out. Just planning, Ministry of Planning. Yes, we had it before, but under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that function was then removed and placed under the Ministry of Finance. Now it's the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. I remember one time Senator Amara Conan now was the minister there at the Ministry of Planning. And so, yes, this is where we are. Just a few of the updates. I think we can now move into the conversation tonight. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Please share the show as you come on tonight. Let's talk Liberia. Let's discuss the issues that matters most to our country. I want to welcome Jalawu Cindy to the show tonight. Cindy, welcome. It's good to have you on.
Nelson, thank you for having me. How you doing?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, it's good to have you on. I'm doing well, Cindy, and seems like you just rushed from the gym.
Yeah, yeah. You know exactly where I'm coming from. I came from the gym.
You said what's the team again? The Lamb,
Oh man, it's always here. It never leave. You just put your lime or lemon, in hot water, and you put some. For me, I use honey. I don't like raw sugar. So I put honey in it, and then that's it. Every morning, every evening.
Wow.
I mean, when you see me, I come into Liberia in May. You will see me. You will not recognize me.
You mean Cindy, you drop weight. That the lamb, the honey is really helping you.
I drop a lot of weight, but I'm also building muscle. So that's the thing. Yeah. So, but let me tell you, I struggle, and with a lot of us, a lot of Liberians, and with maybe this is an education for a lot of people. We struggle with belly fat. You know, you find Liberian men, Liberian women, and I'm not being denigrating at all, but this is reality. We struggle with belly fat. You know, we have stubborn belly fat. That belly, you see a young person and they already have belly, right? And then you keep wondering, the person may even look, skinny, dry, but that belly fat will not go away. Nelson, the reason is the food we're eating. Most of our food are filled with oil, right? We Liberian, African, especially West African, we consume a lot of red oil that we call palm oil. We consume a lot of palm butter. Do you know that thing is saturated fat? It sits in your system for a long time. Nelson, have you seen a palm oil, red oil? You keep it there, it's not warm, it's like, it's cold. You see how it can look? Yeah. Imagine that thing sitting in your stomach.
Nelson, ask this man when he got to know that.
But man, I just discovered it there.
No, Charles, you rushed my question. My man, you rushed. When the man came here just recently, me and the man go eat palm butter somewhere.
We don't eat no palm butter. We don't eat no palm butter.
And the man said, all that thing ain't talking about, like, hey, say you wanted that day, so you rushed the question.
I mean, I don't eat palm butter anymore. I do away with any oil. I'd rather eat dry rice, drink pepper soup, no oil. I'm done.
Jada, who told you that eating palm butter once in a while gonna
yeah, once in a while it's okay. But I'm talking about we eat it consistently. We do it a lot.
Look, let me tell you. No.
There's a lot. Look, let me tell you, man. There's a lot more that you can take out of the palm butter than
in the comment section here. That major.
I think we all. I mean, most of us we have belly fat.
On a serious note, I think I need.
That's a sign of comfort and enjoyment in Liberia when you get puff belly. People think that you enjoy it.
And that's a problem.
You pass someone and say, "Oh, my man, enjoying your stomach growing."
I say, "I know that you sick."
But Nelson, your own is enjoyment.
No. Come on, man. The kind of work we do, you can enjoy, my brother. I enjoy me work we're doing. But anyway, it's a great way to start the show. When you finish running behind newsmaker, you get called by running behind.
I don't know the day you get stopped running, how y'all get a news again.
But guys, it's a great way to start the show, but I think it's serious. Sandy, especially, I think that's a very important conversation that both us around health. Though we do this as an icebreaker just to start the show, but it's very important, to watch what we eat, but the difficult thing about this whole situation with Liberia, Sandy, and I guess some African countries, is that to eat in the first place for so many people, is an achievement. Just to get it to eat per day. Imagine when I'm at work, you not even start a day. You even know how you going to start a day. Then somebody bring one bowl of palm butter. The man doesn't have any hope of seeing anything after that palm butter. Then he tell the man, say, belly fat, saturation, or what kind of oil, moisturizes. The man not get time for all that in there. What the man wants to do is to eat to survive at the moment. After that, you can talk about the belly fat and all that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, while the man is eating it, then everybody's like, my man, enjoying your stomach growing. Wow.
And more bizarre, Nelson, basically those kind of people, they're not really suffering with too many problems. You know the reason why? Because many of those facts that are stored in the body will burn off before the next time man get food to eat again. So that is one of the things. The man I get, the consistency of the food you eat is the one that puts pressure on the body.
Right.
Because the body will store some and and use some. So if it becomes too excess, that's where your problem become now. You know too much of everything.
So
But health
brother,
practitioners don't look at it that way, though.
no, I'm coming. So Famula, you're trying to support the point that most people make when they say, "Oh, my man, your stomach growing, enjoying." So you're trying to say that we're enjoying because that person eating on time, that while the
No,
the
I
air
mean,
so the
anytime
fat-
you see here like that, that means that person is just a discipline. Because that discipline will keep you at a very moderate level. And if you are not disciplined, you're going to go out of line. Because if I know fully well that my stomach getting beat from certain activities, it will always be or some kind of activities that you involve in. If that bad eating habit, if that bad drinking habit, or some kind of bad habit that making you to get that kind of a weight, you know that you have to cut it down and bring it to a level that you can operate within.
I know we need to go, but Nelson, let me. Oh, Charles, go ahead. Sorry, you haven't.
But Famula, I want to differ with you. You know,
it's okay.
Eating a moderate way also create a health hazard for yourself. So, for example, if I eat palm butter today, after 2 weeks, I eat palm butter. The chemistry of it building up in my system is still there. It doesn't matter. If I'm supposed to get cholesterol from that oil from the palm, I will still get it. So even if you go to a doctor, after 3 months, you eat it in 3 months, and you eat it 3 times, if that cholesterol is building up in your system, the body system, the internal system doesn't work the way we talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
So what about the other nutrients that the palm butter gave you? So are you going to forget about the other part? That's only the cholesterol you go for.
No.
Everybody going to eat palm butter because there are a lot of nutrients in palm butter. So if you go now and localize it now to only cholesterol, then you create another problem for other people. So there are other nutrients that is in the palm butter that other people benefiting from that deficiency.
I'm trying to say to our grateful people then. I mean, that's that.
Look, I think what Famula is saying, and I agree with him, right? So Famula, it has to do with just the calories. Whatever we put in our mouth come with calories. Mm-hmm. The medical advice is that burn more than what you eat. If I eat about, let's say 2,000 calories today, I should burn at least 2,500 calories today. But if I continue to consume 200 calories, 2,500 calories on a daily basis, and I'm barely burning it. I'm not burning. I'm just sitting down. I don't exercise. Fufu come in the morning. Like people are all breakfast at fufu. Fufu come in the morning. Tobogi come in the afternoon. Palm butter come in the evening. You continue to do it. You are not exercising. Your stomach start to get beef. I mean, I was in that area.
So Sandy, then let's look at it now for Liberia. How many people exercise?
Nelson, you are muted.
Even the people who walking out on the street, people who walking out on the street looking for food or going to work that exercise already, they don't have to go to the gym.
Famula, if you go for instance in the villages, I want my pardon. Who will go they walking and back and forth on the farm? The old man will eat the baby, they will eat. You will not see them being fat.
But see the distance they walk to go to the farm, sir.
So that's why that exercise. That exercise. But what we're talking about, Nelson, who in the office all day? You work in the morning, or more getting palm butter.
No, Nelson running behind Yaga Koluba.
Okay, don't forget about Nelson. But let's say Sir Joseph, who said in the office, and I'm not putting money, be brother. Nelson, you off mute. There you go, you off mute.
You are muted, Nelson. You are muted.
We can hear you. So
I'm saying don't start while Senator Joseph must be laughing at you at this time.
Sorry, Jada. Let me just say something quick.
We're about to start a conversation, but Senator Joseph told me the other time, he said, Nelson, I play football every Saturday and Sunday morning. I can go practice.
It's good for him.
So the Senator can exercise.
Yeah, but sometimes not every pop better you see, that means the person is sick to some degree. But Nelson, this is what I wanted to say quickly before we go to the next phase. The idea that the West has inculcated in our setting that people must eat 3 times a day is a scam.
It's a scam.
Do not fall for that trap. Look, Nelson, I'm in my 30s, but many a times when I go to places and I tell people I'm in my 30s, this is like you 20 something years old. It is just discipline. Look, let me tell you, I have been on intermittent fasting since I came to the United States because I know that many of the food they have here are hormonal. They have a lot of GMO, they have a lot of chemicals they put in their food. So whether you like it or not, when you start fasting beyond the fast food industry, you go look, your face start getting puffy. You go look, your belly start getting big. And you see, and for us that coming from Africa, when you live in that type of level, you become comfortable, you become tired, you don't want to go to work, and that food making you that, and then you go low, you get overweight. So all of that, I only eat when I feel like I want to eat. When the body asks that I need to eat, I eat. But I eat once a day. People don't believe it. I told my mom said, why are you doing that? I eat once a day. And every year I go for my annual, they do my annual exam, they do all my lab, everything come back good. I'm not pressure. You don't force to eat 3 times a day. Don't scam yourself like that. If you eat one meal, you give yourself a break. If you get it, you eat it. If you get it, don't force it. The only thing you should always tell people to do, get a well-balanced diet.
From the expression Cindy feels when he said eat 1 time a day, it clearly indicates that Cindy disagrees with you on that.
No. Actually, Nelson,
that's why I was laughing at.
Actually, look, listen. Formula just spoke for me, and I'm going to end on this and we'll move on. Let me share a quick story.
I told you intermittent.
About 2 years ago, Nelson, about 2-3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a high blood pressure. My doctor looked into my face and said, look, you're very young. If you do not cut down your food intake and exercise, you're going to lose your life. Doctor looked at me and told me that. I was diagnosed with high cholesterol. Nelson, I was big, I was comfortable, I was eating a lot. Breakfast was fufu. I was eating a lot. I'm serious with you.
That's the problem there, Cindy.
And I was not exercising. And I sat down in the office all day working. I was not moving. Nelson, I was 223 pounds. Nelson, back those days, I thought I was doing well. I was good. Right now, I look younger than what I was looking 2 years ago. I barely eat. I have gotten adjusted to 1 meal a day. I drink my lemon juice, and I exercise every day. I don't miss a day in the gym. And I know younger today. I know younger in my 36 than I look in my early 30s.
Nelson, let me tell you something. You will get there. I know it can be hard because in Liberia, people get think that if you not eat, that means you not be well, you not be healthy. And
how do you eat 1 time a day? No, family.
Okay, listen, you're missing the point. You eat one square meal.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's the thing I was about to tell family, right? When the world people say, or the Western culture says 3 times a day, they break that 3 times a day. They in a way where you understand it. Yeah. In the morning, you can't wake up. Now, come in. Yeah, that's the problem now. That's the problem with them. But you can't wake up in the morning and find somebody swallowing GB or fufu early in the morning. Come on now. Let's be honest. But if you have something like kuma wheat, kukao, those kind of things, they are water. They get in your system automatically. They dissolve and move on.
You guys, we didn't start the show early, so
let's move on.
But this is a very interesting conversation. I hope we can have this conversation on one of the Fridays, sometime on the weekend. But it's very important how we eat, our lifestyle, exercise, and all of that as far as everything is concerned. Interestingly, I paid at a gym. I didn't go there until the entire payment got expired after 1 month. And the guy called me, Nelson, what's going on? But again, it's very important because at the end of the day, we have to balance everything. Exercise is as good as medication. For me, I think so. And the good thing about it is that, like Cindy now is doing, once you start to exercise regularly, it becomes a part of you that if you didn't do it one day, you feel like you've lost something.
It's an addiction now.
Yeah.
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 So
27
But-
days. Consistently 27 days, it become a habit.
yeah. I need somebody to pull me to the gym. Maybe I'll try to do that.
Let's say if I give you the suggestion, if I say it now, I will not say it, I will say it in the group chat. If I tell you that suggestion, you follow it, you will be successful.
Okay, yeah. Say in the, no, don't say in the group chat again. Troublesome.
Okay, I'll say-
Say in my
I was in your inbox.
there's a whole lot, man. A lot has been going on today. And I want us to take maybe just 2 minutes each. We're gonna set the timer. Let's make the most of the little time we have to be here now. Maybe we can take 2 minutes each on each of these talking points, and so that we cover everything we have captured for tonight. But the first thing I want us to start with is the Yeke Koluba situation, man. I mean, a lot of you saw.
You will now be escorted by the sergeant at arms. You will now be escorted out by the sergeant of arms. The speaker has said that.
That is the lawmaker of District Number 10, Monserrado County, representing Yeke Yekpawolo Koluba. He resisted, but then he couldn't stand it because the sergeant at arms are well-trained, well-built guys, and the lawmaker, doesn't have that physique. But yeah, he was thrown out of session today for allegedly disrupting session. He was thrown out on grounds that he tried to disrupt why normal activity was going on. And after being spoken to by his colleagues, he resisted. He said he doesn't recognize the current speaker, Honorable Kuhn, who was there at that particular session. And so he had to be thrown out of session today. But I want you to take a look at another video.
Rules of administration, look at you. All the time you talk, people have respect for you. All the time you talk anytime. All the time you talk anytime, people have respect for you. Nobody has respect. You lost the respect in the country for what you want. You have lost the respect. You have lost the respect. When you concern the gas station here, the gas station here, the gas station here, for you to say that it's stealing and drop money, look at you. Look at you. You are disgrace. You are disgrace, Baba Chima. Baba Chima, you are disgrace. You are disgrace. You are dictator. You are stupid to all the that person here. Colleagues, I don't think this.
Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I will not want to play the entire clip, but the person carrying him out of session is the current speaker. The person appealing to him, I beg you, let's go out, is Honorable Kuhn. I mean, and I want us to look at this thing in its entirety. Session is ongoing. A lawmaker is in session. He allegedly tries to disrupt session. In the process, once the colleagues cannot get him to give attention to avoid disrupting session, then the sergeant at arms is called to get him out. I mean, what's your take on this, guys? Was it prudent to get the lawmaker out? Should we have seen? I mean, was it prudent to have the lawmaker remain in session and do what he wanted to do. I mean, especially at this point, should we expect a new version of Honorable Yeke Koluba? Should everybody just cope with this version of the lawmaker that usually addressing this issue, addressing issues this way? I mean, let's take 2 minutes across the table on this, and then we can move to our next talking point. Sandy, let's hear from you.
Nelson, look, the House or the legislature is the legislation is a serious place to do serious business for the Liberian people. I do understand there are tensions there due to some, to disagreements, because you have people from different sides or different angles, different political ideologies, so they disagree with one another, and sometimes it will lead to some tension. But we should not expect that place to be a place where people will go and continuously disrupt sessions. I do not know exactly what led to today's behavior or what happened today, because the entire video was not played and I didn't follow it from the beginning. But knowing Yeke Koluba, we can see that whenever he disagrees, he uses words, profound words that are usually not professional, and he tend to disrupt session. So that was what happened today, given if that's the similar patterns or similar behavior that was exhibited today that led to that. Then I would say, look, it was the right thing to do. The people still had to work. You can disagree with the speaker. I do not you can disagree with Rachel Cohn, because I don't recognize him as a speaker. So I take it back. He's not a speaker. You can disagree with him, but when you go there to sit under his gavel, and you go there with the intent to do the Liberian people work, then go and do the Liberian people work. When you disagree, challenge your disagreement professionally. We pay those people, man, with a lot of money, Nelson. We paid them a lot of money. Some of that could be used for infrastructures and other things. Those people are getting paid over $11,000 every month. And they go there, instead of doing the Liberian people work, they go there to disrupt. They go there to fight one another physically. They go there to abuse one another. And we get nothing out of them. No major laws passed. No check and balance now in the government. The executive branch is not even being checked. So let them get to work.
Okay.
Yeke Koluba should maybe try to redefine the way that he disagrees with his colleagues. Do it a bit professionally so that people will start to give you some respect. That level of attitude.
Cindy, what we're seeing here, and this is the final one, and then we move to Charles. Well, what we're seeing here, and if you're going back to the previous administration, do you think the people of District 10 are being represented well? Just taking a look at the cardinal function of the lawmaker: oversight, representation, lawmaking. Are the people of District 10 being represented well?
A lot of districts in our countries are not being represented at all. Okay? I can say that Yeke is just there. The reason Yeke was re-elected is because he was so vocal against President Weah that almost everyone was tired with President Weah, and they felt that he was against President Weah, so it was empathy re-election. They just empathized with him. But there are several districts. Some of them that are quiet, they just go there and sit. There's no representation. Grand Chida is not being represented by Zoe Penal. I'm sorry. Zoe may not like me from tonight, but Grand Chida is not being represented by him. He has never been represented by him.
No, Sandy. Are you saying your lawmaker, Honorable Zoe Emmanuel Penal, is not being represented by Grand Gillette?
Give me one bill that he has ever passed. Tell me one thing that he has advocated for on behalf of Grand Gillette.
Cindy, I want you to hold on a bit. Guys, sorry to interrupt the show. Let's have our brother Cindy hold on for just a few seconds.
You want to play some video?
No, let me play this. Let me play this. This is your lawmaker of Grand Gillette County.
This one we got 50,000. 50,000. So 100,000. Three. So you man, man. 6. 7. My God.
So, Cindy, the reason why I played this video, you just say a lawmaker is not representing the county. He's not doing anything for the county. But this is the lawmaker giving $1 million Liberian dollars to the county team, the national county team, and the people are celebrating. They're telling him you are the man. How do you reconcile this, Cindy? Your lawmaker is giving $1 million Liberian dollars to the county team.
We thank Zoe Penum for giving part of the money that he has stolen from the county over the years. We thank him for giving that money back. Zoe Penum is known in the county as Arab money. Arab money. That's how they call him in the county. I'm not talking about distributing money here, Nelson. We're talking about people making laws, representation of the county, and oversight of our government. Tell me or show me any video where Zoe Emmanuel Penum is doing any of that. And this is not just Zoe Penum alone. Zoe Penum has a very great interpersonal relationship, and that's why people like him. That's why he been re-elected. That guy, all the thing I'm talking tonight, if Zoe and myself meet tomorrow, he will just laugh. I mean, Sandy, you calm down, man. We're doing the work. That's it. He hold nothing against anybody. He goes in the county. Everybody loves Zoe because of this interpersonal relationship. But let's take Zoe in the legislature where he has been for over 18 years. Show me a bill that our brother has passed on behalf of the Liberian people. The man will keep quiet. He will go and collect his money. Time for election. He will go to the county, give back a rights, give money for zinc, and he wins election. And that is the case for several of our people, the districts and counties. Most of the people we elect, we don't elect them. They are not elected because they are the best representation of us. We elect them because they are the one that give the back of rice. They give the zinc. They give the little things. And then we empower them for 9 years, 9 years, giving them plenty of money back. So no, not because Zoe Penum give money to the team, and we thank him again. This is our money. We thank him for giving our money back, but that's not representing us.
Thank you. I want to hold you there. Thanks a lot. Charles, you want to come in? Your take on this issue?
Yes, it is always good to be here, Nelson. It is always good to be here. With the issue of District Number 10 Representative Yeke Yakbaworo Koluba. Again, I followed the event, and today Yeke Koluba went to section, and he was recognized. In fact, they turned over the microphone to him, and he was about to address his colleagues. He said he don't recognize the speaker. In fact, even before Yaga Koluba even talking on the mic, people, other colleagues started to interject his discussion, and he actually identified the deputy speaker. He recognized the deputy speaker. And other people start to tell him, no, you have to recognize the speaker. No, you have to recognize the speaker. In fact, in the process of that time, colleagues from the majority blocks went to him, pulled the microphone from his hand, and there where the entire situation escalated. Under that atmosphere, first of all, when we come to this kind of disco, we have to be very honest to ourselves. I understand that Yaga Koluba is one person who is very, very prophetic in his words that he used on people. But we also have to recognize what happened today, what led to the speaker or the so-called majority bloc asking the sergeant at arms to ask him out or to pull him out. Yaga Koluba today, I believe, he was on his right point. And the fact that other colleagues will gang up against him in section. And Nelson, you have the video. You have the video. You can play that video where Yaga Koluba was recognized. This microphone that they used was handed over to him, and he was about to speak when other police started to tell him to do things that he feel that it was against what he stands for. And Yaga Koluba has been clear that
I'm coming, Charles. Sorry, I was trying to get something. Do you have a video to that effect when you hear the microphone, like you're saying, you hear the microphone, and somebody telling you have to say this, you have to recognize the speaker. If you not recognize the speaker, you will not speak. You have a video to that you want to share with us?
Nelson, you want to do justice to this show and to the Liberian people that are watching and following us, you will play the video.
No, I don't have the video.
You do have the video. Yeah, no, you have the video that Yaga Koluba stood up in section today.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Please,
there's another video. Let me have this.
Yes.
Is that the video you're talking about?
Go ahead. Yes, that's the video. Go ahead.
You can call by on the floor. I'll be better to vote. Let the speaker.
And there you have
you see what happened?
Oh, that changed the whole thing, Charles.
You see what happened?
So yeah, and
you see majority blocks lawmakers waking up from their seat, going to him to physically attack him.
It was not majority. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, it was the majority block lawmakers that went up to him. They were the one that went up to him. While he was on the floor, the speaker recognized him holding the microphone. That's what escalated the entire situation today. That's exactly what escalated the situation today. And so when we come to this kind of thing, right? And this is going to our Liberian people. And to be honest, all those people in that house, they need to be replaced, including the Yaga Koluba man. they all need to be replaced because they are not in the interest of Liberia at all, including the so-called speaker. The speaker you see in the house today, Richard Kuhn, he's from a district. And like my brother Sandy said, our district has not been represented. District number 11, in fact, it's like we don't have any lawmaker. But we claim to have a speaker.
When was the last time you're in a district? When was the last time?
I talk to people in my district every single day. I have family in my district.
What are the people in your district saying to you?
The district is underrepresented. The district is lacking representation. Lawmaking.
How is the district lacking representation?
Of course, the district is lacking representation. The district is lacking representation in a sense wherein you have a budget that just passed that 5% or 4, if I may be correct, 4 or 5%, including the speaker, have $14 million in our budget, while counties, health department or health sector have $9 million. That alone make our district underrepresented and all of our counties underrepresented.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, so take your 30 seconds and conclude.
So when we come to this platform, honestly, we have to speak truth to power where it's actually supposed to be. Because including the Yaga Koluba man, I don't support his actions, passing around, masquerading and insulting people, and and being so gangster in his advocacies. But what happened today? They wrong him. They wrong him. And Liberian people can see it clear.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cindy, I want us to give Fambule his time.
Yeah, I don't want his brother to cry. It's okay, he can go ahead.
No, Nelson, allow Sandy to take back his word because I know what you want to do. Give him the few seconds, then you take back his word. Because
okay,
Sandy,
I took back my voice.
Okay. Sandy want to flip flop. You want to go back, because he saw a video. You want to take it back.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me use my few seconds now.
All right. All right. Go ahead. Take a few seconds. No, use it.
Let me take a few seconds.
Look, I'm Charles. I'm also from the district in Banos. I grew in Banosville, so I know what you're talking about. But the video, and I apologize actually, but the video just switched the whole coin. It flipped it. Nelson, you can see when Yeke held the microphone, immediately they started saying, "Call him speaker, call him speaker." Yeke said, "You don't want to recognize him as a speaker."
They said address the speaker.
Address the speaker.
He said, "Mr. Presiding," and address the speaker.
Right. He said, "Mr. Presiding." That's why he chose to call him. They're forcing him to address him as speaker. So then they rushed to him. So in this case, again, all of them have that retaliatory, attitude where they think that just being angry, it will solve anything. They could have done it professionally. Oh my man.
It was planned, Nelson. Their action was planned.
Address the mayor as a speaker. Do it in a way that will not be that chaotic.
I want to read there. Let me bring Fambule in. Fambule, go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. Sometimes it becomes so laughable, and sometimes I think it is comical for people to sit on this kind of a platform and think that you can play the kind of a hard joke on the Liberian people. This is the House of Parliament. For God in heaven's sake, there are parliamentary procedures. Somebody, Yeke Koluba has already spent 6 years in the House. He's not a JJC to the House. He should know the basic parliamentary procedure. You cannot hold a mic. You ask for your unreadiness. More than 3 times, you ask for your unreadiness, and they recognize you. They can put all the feelings aside and just talk the issue. He held the mic and he did not even face the speaker. He did not even face the presiding. Since you want to call it presiding, we agree. He did not even face the presiding. He was facing his colleagues. And the people around him were reminding him, he said, face the speaker. The speaker gave you the mantle to speak. You can't be looking at your colleagues on the side and let me tell you this. This is for the Liberian people. Yeke Koluba has not represented his district, and that's the reason why the Liberian people will have to think otherwise. The people of district number 10 will have to think, because this has become so annoying. It becomes so disgraceful. It's embarrassing to even look at a lawmaker who goes to session every day and being thrown out of session. This is an inculcated plan by him. Yeke Koluba has nothing to offer. Absolutely. The three cardinal responsibility for lawmaker, Yeke Koluba has not even presented one attribute for 6 years. He been there and the other 1 year. So all he does every day is to go and do things that's inappropriate, that bring real shame and disgrace on the house, and then they throw him out. So what is the precedent that Yeke Koluba as a young man is showing for the next young generation of people who wanting to aspire to become representative? How are they going to copy from people like Yeke Koluba? What example? If you go even your own colleagues, you cannot even respect them. And then when they show you out and people want to say that, you want to say, oh, because you are provoked, why didn't he go to the issue? If you have an issue, okay, crash everything. When he decided to go to represent his people, what registered to his mind? Is he going in there to sit under somebody he already he already said that they are not a speaker? Why did you even go there in the first place if you know that the man is not a speaker? Why did you even go there? So all of this that we see here today is not issue about people getting again Yeke Koluba, people are just tired and fed up with what Yeke Koluba done over and over, because he had less or nothing to contribute.
That's it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Thanks a lot.
30 seconds.
But take 30 seconds quickly.
You see, my brother family, you know, when we come to this school, brother, let's be honest to our conscience. Let's be honest to our conscience. When you talk about the rules, parliamentarian proceedings, the speaker that you claim to be a speaker, did he follow parliamentary proceedings to get himself to the speakership? Did he follow the rules of that house that he claimed to be the speaker of? Did he follow the rules to be the speaker today?
Listen, we're not talking about that, man. That's not what we're talking about, Charles.
Wait. You know, so when we come, don't look at it because it favor you. When it favor you, then you see it like, okay, yes, it's okay. But if it doesn't favor you, then you feel that, oh no, the other person is being disrespectful, is being rude to authority. No, don't see it like that.
Can you see?
Yeke Koluba is in that house to represent his district.
Can you count Yeke Koluba as a role model for you?
When you watch the video, Yeke Koluba didn't insult anybody. When he stood up, when he was recognized, when they hand over the microphone to him, he was about to talk. When you hear people in the audience talking back to him.
Okay,
I didn't talk anything. People started talking to him.
Let me hold you there.
How do you classify that?
Hold you there. I want to hold you there, guys. We have to transition.
It's disturbing.
We will go back. We will take calls, yes, and all of that. But today, Senator Albert Shea reintroduced this communication or this proposal for lawmakers. The need for several provisions of the Constitution to be amended to cut down on the tenure of the representatives from 6 years to 5 years, to cut down on the tenure of senators from 9 years to 7 years, for the speaker from 6 years to 5 years, and the pro tem from 9 years to 7 years. All of these constitutional provisions, he says, needs to be done. Let's say all of those provisions need to be amended. It will have to go through referendum. Of course, you know that there's a whole process surrounding how it's going to play out if we were to amend provisions of the Constitution. But what do you make of this? Is this something that's going to hold? Because we saw this particular process play out in 2020. We had a referendum. Yes, we had a senatorial election. Previous administration said, okay, so since there's an election, senatorial election, let's do the referendum, everything you want. And we got the poorest result ever. We didn't get the 2/3. None of the proposals made it through. And that whole thing went down in the dustbin under former President George Weah. Now, this time around, Senator Albert Chia is trying to push this thing. He's saying there's a need to cut down on how long they stay at the legislature as representatives and senators. Is this prudent for us as a country at this time? Does the country stand to benefit anything from this proposal, this communication, what the senator is pushing? I mean, are there bigger and better things we should be talking about now than the cut, down in the tenures of lawmakers in our country? Now, let's start with you, Cindy.
Nelson, that's a very great move. Hopefully that bill can be, hopefully it can be passed into law. I will have suggested, that, they reduce the representative term to 4 years, like we do here in the US, then, and the Senate to 6 years. I will still maintain that the president keeps the 6 year, because sometimes for a president to get things done, you really need that time, right, to really even connect. But those lawmakers, they don't need to be there for that long. 6 years, 9 years, that's a lot of time. Now, on the issue of the referendum not being passed in the past, with what President Weah was doing, and we just need to educate our people. I think all of us on these shows and other shows, other radio network, other television networks, to use their platforms to educate the Liberian people about the importance of these reductions in the terms. It's very important. Our people should have a clear understanding. If you vote somebody, a representative, and give them 6 years, right? They carry two $45,000 car. Every 3 years, they get $45,000 car. We can reduce their term. Some of that money come back to our cover, right? But that's just the least. But we can actually examine their performance, and they will know. In fact, they will want to be more accountable to the Liberian people. Because if you give me just 4 years, and I want to come back, I will want to perform so well that after my 4 years, you will bring me back. But if you give me about 6 years, they tend to be complacent. 6 years are long, too far away, man. So they get there, they want to eat, they want to cut their cord, they want to steal. And then closer to the elections, about a year or two to the elections, they start to come with the bag of rice, they start to come with, this paying children's school fees and all that. But if you give them limited time to stay, they will perform. They will be more accountable. They will be responsible. They will want to do the people work because they want to be reelected. So I think we should all educate the people so that this can be passed. 2 years, thank you, Lane Labor, thank you. 2 years, in fact, yeah. So a Congress year in the US is 2 years, and I believe the Senate is also 4 years, and the president is 4 years here in the US. So imagine that. Nelson, you are muted tonight. You're just muting yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. If this thing is as good as we're saying it, why didn't we pass it in 2020? Someone may ask.
It's a lack of education.
Why are we talking about it now when the opportunity was just right before us? Because this is the thing. Going to these processes will require money. You're going to be going to state resources. You're going to be going to national covers to carry on the process. Now, the other debate about 4 years or 5 years for lawmakers, for representatives, and then 6 or 7 years for senators is also the issue of funding. Elections are usually costly. And so the other side of the debate is, why should we be having elections after every 4 years when we can have elections after every 6 years? Now, if you're having elections after every 4 years, In 12 years' time, you're gonna have 3 elections. If you're having elections in every 6 years, in 12 years' time, you're gonna have 2 elections. So
Nelson.
the other concern is about the cost associated with having these elections.
Nelson, again, this is priority, the issue of priorities, right? What are we spending money on now? Most of the wasteful spending we're doing right now, we can cut that and put it into this. This is a national issue. You know, stop paying generators $3,000 a month, right? People generators.
Which generator?
I mean, some of the directors that came here, they told us. My district representative that we brought it last time, he told me his generator is getting $3,000 a month. So he's getting gas lit that is $3,000. Where the gas going? They're going to a generator or some kind. So cut that down, right? Minimize the wasteful spending. Let's put some money back into the budget, and we can utilize some of that money to run those elections. These are national issues. We cannot keep people in power for 9 years. 9 years. You get somebody 9 years, they don't need to come back. They are rich, they are set. You just made a millionaire. They can choose to go there and sit down, sleep. Zopero can choose to go over there, sleep. Nothing will happen to him. He will collect his money, his 15,000 plus. 9 years finished. They may not come back and say he's a millionaire. We need to.
I want to hold you there, Cindy. Let's hold you there. Charles, you want to come in on this?
Yes, Nelson, the idea is very fine, it's very good. And you know, I'm one person who really in favor of us breaking down the entire constitution and rebuilding it. Yeah, because when you look at Liberia problem, everything originates from that constitution. With the issue of the bill, I just want to give a little survey. I just want to do a little calculations. Liberia population, we are over 5 million plus human beings in our country. Our land area is over 43,000 or maybe less than 43,000 square miles. We have at least over 10 natural resources in our country that is making millions of dollars around the world. And then when you try to do some critical comparison, people say, oh, no, don't do it because Liberia is this, Liberia is that. But we are the one that make Liberia like that. When you try to compare it to New York is bigger than Liberia in land mass. New York is at least over something around 50-something thousand square miles. The population is over 8 million in New York. New York has at least 6 resources. I stand to be corrected on that.
We comparing New York to Liberia. I mean,
that's the thing. I'm coming.
Another country.
Yeah. I'm coming. We don't want to make Liberia not develop. Liberia could be more than New York. When we have the right people in the right place, doing the right thing for the Liberian people, we can be more than New York. Imagine New York just have at least 6. And I stand to be corrected on that, the natural resources. New York have at least the 26 representatives and 2 senators. I am of the conviction that we need to shut down the lawmakers. These representatives, then 73 of them in that place for nothing. They don't do anything for the country. You can see the impact of their representation on the life of the Liberian people.
How did we become a democratic country? Are we talking about 2 branches of government? Who makes the law in that case? Now, if the whole thing is about just shutting down the legislature.
No. I'm not saying shut down. But we can reduce them. We don't have to get 73 representatives. We don't. Imagine New York that is bigger than us. New York got 26 representatives, 2 senators. If each county will come up with one senator and the representative be breaking down to a minimum scale, at least we have something about 40 something. Those remaining money can go into the health sector, can go into immigration, can go into law enforcement area, can go into the health, can go into education, and our people will see the direct impact. It can go into infrastructure. But we have a lot of people in that house that is not helping the Liberian people. They're just there enriching themselves, taking plenty of money, putting in their pockets, saying that children all around the place, and the Liberian people suffering. And the Liberian people suffering for no reason. And at the end of the day, people will come on this platform. Some of them will come on this platform and kind of just use words on the Liberian people. And you know something? The frustrating part about it is that we Liberians, that most especially the ones that are in Liberia, they see the reality. They see the thing that is going on in the country. They are directly affected by those things that is going on in the country by our lawmakers. But when you come to this platform and you say these kind of things, they take offense because they are from that party. And that's the thing about Liberia. You know, we need to drive away from that party sentiment and individualism. We need to drive away from it.
And party sentiment and all those different sentiments. We're going to talk about that. But this is the thing, Charles. Reducing the number of lawmakers is not impossible. Well, I remember, Sandy, we're going to come to you. We're going to give you a few seconds before moving to family. We're going to come to you. There was a census conducted in the country. And by law, immediately following the conduct of the census, LEGIS, the institution, the agency conducting the census, should give the report of the census to the legislature. And the Constitution says immediately after the census and before the next election, the legislature should take an action. What is the action? They should use that census result and take a look at the districts across the country.
To demarcate it, yeah.
They should carry on the redemarcation. Mm-hmm. They should set new thresholds where necessary. Currently, the threshold for the size of a district as per the 1986 Constitution stands at what? 25,000. So the law is that, yes, it's either you maintain that threshold, and if you carry 25,000 means that then you have to create additional districts. But the law then says that even in the case where you're creating additional districts, the districts should not exceed 100. It should not exceed 100. Now I'm coming.
I understand what you're dropping at.
Create additional district, let the districts remain the same, but increase the threshold. So the legislature the legislature could say, for example, since the previous threshold as per the 1986 Constitution has been 25,000, let's take the threshold to maybe 40,000. The legislature can make that decision, and once you take the threshold to 40,000, automatically there are some districts that will be swallowed up and all of that. So I'm saying that is very much possible. Recently, we listened to Honorable Kuhn at the SONA, right after the SONA, the program they had, when he was calling on the legis to make that information available so that they can start to act on it. But the thing is, even before now, that information should have been acted upon, because the law said immediately after the census and before the next election. Well, the debate back then was that the people and this election readiness, though, we didn't get time and all of those different issues. But Charles, you can conclude.
You see that's the thing, right? All of these things that we're discussing about reducing the representatives in that house, it all boiled down right in their hands. And those guys seek their pockets. So for those kind of things to easily make a way is difficult. In a case like Darius DeLong, said they should reduce their monthly take home. Since he proposed that bill in the House, his colleagues laughed at him because it's in their interest. So those things that are in their interest, when it goes to them, they play careless with it because it's in their interest. So, and like I said, it would be a very strategic move for Liberians to consolidate all of their efforts to see how. My man, I'm from Bannersville. Imagine shoe factory. There are certain portion of shoe factory is district number 12, where in Bannerville Road is right there. From Stephen Tower Bridge all the way to Jimmy Carroll Bridge could be one district. Why they have two districts? They have three districts in between there for no reason, just to give people money.
Thank you.
For no reason.
I want to hold you there, Charles. Let's hold you there and bring Cindy in. Then we
And like I said to my brother in the comment section, yes, New York is over 8 million people. Yes.
Cindy, go ahead.
So I totally agree with Charles. I think I've always proposed reduction of the numbers of folks representing the districts. I propose one senator per county. One senator per county, reduce the number of lawmakers. I just want to correct something though, Charles. The 26 representatives and 2 senators are at the federal level. So those are the 26 representatives that represent the state of New York in Washington, D.C., and the 2 senators, because each state sent 2 senators to D.C.
Yeah, that's
New
the
York sent
electoral
26.
vote. Yeah.
Right. New York sent 26 to D.C. But New York State itself are 150 representatives and 63 senators. The state,
Yes.
so the state
Yes,
house.
yes.
But Nelson, New York is a very rich state.
It's very important. It's very important. And since Charles tried to make that comparison, and then maybe we should also take into consideration what the threshold is. What is the number that constitutes a district?
Nelson.
That gets represented by a particular maybe representative and all of that. But Cindy, just make your point, because
Nelson, what we're doing in Liberia, we are practicing out after the US, and it's failing us. It's failing us. Let's do what other people have done. Look, I'm in the state of New Mexico. It's bigger in size than Liberia. New Mexico is the 5th largest state in the United States. It's rich with natural resources. It's an oil-rich state. Nelson, in the state of New Mexico, we do not pay any of our lawmakers. 0. The salary of a state lawmaker, representative, and senators in the state of New Mexico is 0. Do you know how they get paid? When they go to work, they get $202 per diem. When they go to section, which is twice a week, they get $202 per diem. Look it up. New Mexico is the only state that does that. It's a voluntary work.
But then it's similar to the 45,000 debate that the lawmaker, your own district lawmaker, Honorable DB, bro, because he said that they make $2 for the $2 per day, 7 days a week times 52 weeks per month times 3 years. That's how they get for the $5,000 per car.
But Jacobs B is taking home $11,000 a month plus the $45,000 car every 3 years. I'm saying the representative and senator in New Mexico are taking home $0. They don't give them car. They don't buy them gas. They only pay them $202 every time they go to work. An African country did what Charles is proposing. Before the Rwanda genocide, they used to have plenty of lawmakers. Paul Kagame King, he said nonsense. He cut it down. Do you know the representation of their lawmakers? They will choose somebody from the religious council. They choose somebody from the youth. They choose that's how they appoint their lawmakers in Rwanda. Right? District heads. Then those people go there and seriously represent their country. And they are paid far less. And the remaining money, Nelson, goes to the country. We are not at the level where we need to be paying people excessively. And so many people are getting money from the government. Most of that money should be used for development. But let me save some for my brother, Famula. Famula, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, there's the point that we've reached, and all I can always say that we should keep raising the awareness and keep giving our people hope, and let us keep bringing out those ills because our people need it more. Nelson, poverty, corruption has kept our people in complete darkness. People have become so, and the only thing the West were able to do is to psychologize our people with religion, give them religion, confuse them, and if you stand up to say what is right, then somebody want to speak to your conscience. That conscience, they start giving you scripture or they start reading something to you. But the actual problem in Liberia is the issue of bad leadership. People are very, very dishonest, and everything they think about is just lining their pockets. For me, I'm not, and I've never been a prophet of doom. I know that there's still good things that can come out of Liberia, but it takes a collective effort of everybody, and most especially we, the young people, because we are the ones that have been used. We are the ones that we don't know our rights. We don't know what is good for us. These lawmakers today that you see tons of young people going to defend, not knowing fully well that the lawmakers go to session sometimes once a week. Somebody don't even go, but they take their full pay without conscience. Many of them have heard and seen video of students sitting on the floor without chairs. Many of them have heard that in that district, there are hospitals there, there are clinics there without drugs. Many of them have heard and seen that there are nurses, CNAs, and other health practitioners who have abandoned their posts. Some of them prefer to become quacks. Seller, they get a medicine in bucket and passing the community and treating people, then going to the clinic. Many of them know all of them. They know all the things that are happening to our people, yet and still, what they do, they buy a few bags of rice and put 150 inside, and they say they share it on the people every morning. People go to their houses. That's how they want to keep our people. And our people remain in that darkness. In that darkness has kept our country behind. Why will lawmakers make so much money like that? Why? And you think no lawmaker going to sit and say to reduce their tenure? Senator Abache was this. Who was he? Was he not the speaker last year?
No, he was
last year.
Pro tem.
I'm sorry, he was the pro tem for the past years, 6 years, 5 or 6 years. He had the authority. He was sitting up there with a gavel. He had the authority to inform and to lobby with colleagues and do everything he can to make sure the referendum be successful. All the good things that he brought now, he was sitting up there. He had that authority. Our referendum was not successful in the past because of poor civil education. Not many people even knew the provision on a referendum. People couldn't read. You get a long paper. Liberia is not a reading class. How many people can read? Then you expect them to go in there and make informed decision when all of the schools that are not equipped. You know how many people here, not only in Liberia, said reading now is a challenge around the world. Many people don't know how to read. And some people, because of that basic understanding, every simple thing, they resort to violence. Because if the person cannot correctly express themselves, the next thing they become a resistant group. So let us continue to tell Liberian people that things are not happening our way. It is because of the decision that we are making. Until we can change the decision, I agree with all Charles said. Sandy said the same thing. Let us reduce the lawmakers. It's unnecessary. Let us reduce them save some of the money. Let us reduce their salary. But it will take it will take a president with very strong hand and a real constitutional revision and amendment to take that decision, because those guys will fight you with their sweat and blood. If you touch anything that belongs, that they think this that inheriting, if you touch anything that will jeopardize their fat salary, they will fight you with everything.
You know,
So-
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
You know, this is very important. So what this proposal is going to do is that it's going to cut down on not just the tenure, but on the salary issue that a lot of people have raised over the time. So you take, for example, let's take the figure presented by Senator Dillon, that a senator makes $7,800. There are benefits, excluding some of those benefits, but $7,800 times the 12 month, you'll be talking about $93,000 that you'll be saving government in 1 year.
So are representatives making more than senators?
I don't know what you mean, but
Jacob B, Representative Jacob B was on the same show. He
Sure.
told us they make 8,000
Mhm.
plus the $3,000 gas. That's 11,000. He told us. So is
Okay,
Darrell
so
not lying to us?
So who lying?
They say
No,
after
let's work with what Senator Dillon gave us, right? So you're gonna be saving $93,000 per year. That is if you call it from 6 years to 5 years. Then we have 30 senators. So from this particular proposal, we are going to be saving the country $2 million.
Mhm.
If you were to cut the tenure from 6 years to 5 years. Now, this is just for what? The salary. You're not talking about the benefits. You're not talking about the $42 times 7 days times 52 weeks. You're not talking about that.
Nelson, let me conclude.
Nelson,
before you
Nelson.
come in. Let me finish. Let me
Okay,
finish.
yeah. Somebody go ahead.
Let me conclude.
We're gonna
You
go
know,
to hear from our folks.
this is the thing. The way in which our Liberian people are vetting and electing these leaders is really alarming now. That somebody will say, "Oh, I've been here and I've been a classroom teacher. I was teaching here, and for that reason, you wake up, you may representative." What informed decision? What information? What education does this person that you want to elect to be your representative, to represent you in the house? What information do they have before becoming a representative? Because you must have something that you have upstairs that when you go, you say, "Oh, I've been with my people for this years. I have seen things that I know that they need. If I go in there, this is what I will put on the floor and I will lobby with my colleagues and this will go into effect." Are we looking at that? Why would we even give them a car as soon as they enter the house and then after 3 years, you give them another car? For what? Why are we wasting all of that?
Let me
Let
just
us
take a
cut
quick
down
second.
the public waste. Let us cut down the public waste. Let us start looking at people who already have the education, who already have some level of education, at least some level of education, to go in there and make meaningful and informed decisions. That is my point.
30 seconds, please.
And I'm coming. James Cannon is making a point here. This is interesting. James is saying the calculation is true. It's fine. But even if you call it down to from 6 years to 5 years, you will still vote new lawmakers who will receive their salaries. So he thinks he said the best way to save money in this case is to reduce the salaries and benefits directly or reduce the number of lawmakers. Now, he has a point. But
Absolutely. That's what we said.
we want to go to the phone lines actually.
Yes, 30 seconds. Nelson. You see, I think like real problem. I think my brother lastly put it right. It's not about the education. It's just about the heart. It's about the heart and will and mind that you have for your people. Because if you know your district, if you know your people, you see the things that your people face. I remember Moses Tanapoli the late. Moses Tanapoli was not an educated man, but Moses Tanapoli represented his district perfectly till his demise. So it's not about being so educated, because today we have the educated people there. Even the quote unquote speaker that we have today, he's an educated man. But there are 5 or 4 persons in number that is taking $14 million, what the rest of the other countries taking only $9 million in health sector. Imagine that. But they are educated people. Trust me, if somebody who was not educated was dead, I believe that person was going to say, no, I think our people deserve more. And so it's not about the education so far. And another thing too, with the whole referendum thing, is very important. It's good that yes, it come out, but those same lawmakers, those same people will be kicking against it. They'll go back to that district and tell people, say, oh, that thing not good, man. Oh, you forget about that thing. And us Liberians will listen to that kind of things and follow them because they gave us one bag of rice or a couple of cents, and we will go to the pool to vote the right thing. We'll leave it because they gave us a cup of rice.
0555-101075. The WhatsApp number strolling there. You can call via WhatsApp as well. Let's take our first caller here. Hello, your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, just woke up with you guys. I mean, very important stuff. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first thing we have to start with integrity issue in Nigeria. They elect a lot of people with integrity issues, people with criminal records, and put them in power. The first thing we should start. Everybody who wants to question to that representative position to have criminal records should be denied. First thing to be one of the criteria steps. And from there, the country itself to be in a position to discipline whoever comes to power. Whatever representative, minister, whoever, when you get, you should have disciplinary measures put in place. For the first to start with first is, if the government is serious, call for a national referendum. Let's go and overhaul the constitution. The constitution is a mess. Now, depending on people that related those kind of people who had a kind of integrity issue, you know, even, I mean, I don't know. These people, you don't know them. You guys are just, you know, you guys are in the house.
I will hold you there, sir.
None of them.
Thank you. Hello? Is this Francis? Francis, go ahead.
Yes, Nelson, it's me. Yeah, Nelson, I mean, quickly, man. You see, this whole thing, until they reduce the people term in office, nothing will change, because these people have no sense of urgency. You give a representative 6 years, a senator 9 years. If these people take their salary, just their salary, within 6 or 9 years, it's enough to make them a lot of money, including all of their benefits if you add that to it. So that's why the people have no sense of urgency to do anything for their people. But bring these people down to like the compare us of the US, bring the representative down to 2 years, senator down to 6 years. And watch how these people will work for their constituents, because they know every 2 years they're coming back for election. So they will have the sense of urgency. But right now, they don't care. You can put somebody there for 6 years. That person will be good at the end of that 6 years. Even if they don't go back for re-election, they're good.
Thank you.
That's all. Let them reduce their term.
Thank you very much, Francis, for your input. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello?
You are live on the show.
Hello?
Okay, sorry. I think you're not hearing me.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. If you're getting me, you're live on the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, that means oh man, who you say must send and know what I mean. I'll beg you. Just allow me to come to the station there. I want to talk something about what you did to me. But please allow me to come there. I'm begging you. And I want to come in your mouth. But I tell you, explain it.
Oh, you want come to the station?
Yeah. What about it to me? So explain it to la period. Yeah.
Oh.
I hold your phone. I take you.
Okay, mama. But you must call that number that will call to you. Yeah, call the number tomorrow. Yeah.
The number where I used to
The
call.
number will call to you. You must call the number after the show.
Okay.
Okay. Hello. Your name and where you call from?
Hello, Nelson. How you doing? I'm calling from Kankema County. My name is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Nelson, you know, I see people say, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the panelists for them. Nelson, as our brother said over there, those guys in the hospital, they are our problem in the future. I just most say we just need to pay those people some more money. All the lawmakers there. You know, Nelson, the people that made the Constitution first, it was so family. So family. They made the Constitution to protect themselves. It's necessary for us to rebuild our whole Constitution in the favor of the Liberian people.
So
but for the Constitution
so you
there,
think the people that made the Constitution for the social family people sat around one table, they made a Constitution?
I'm telling you, was the family member. So they make it to protect themselves. So for us now, the only way we benefit is to revisit our Constitution to benefit the Liberian people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
A
bro.
lot of calls come in, but sorry, we have to hold the calls there, and I'll come back to do our closing. Yes, Lane Lakwa, you're right. We didn't touch the tourism bill, the concurrence with from the Senate with the lower house today on the tourism bill. Yeah, we didn't touch that. Maybe you can touch it in your closing and stuff like that. But let's do our closing now. Let's take 2 minutes to just close up, and then we'll be out.
Well,
So,
yeah. Oh, you started with me, or
you want to start with me?
Go ahead.
Yes, I know Jara, you let it be the last, so you can take all the time.
Go ahead,
okay. So what thank you very much, Nelson. What a great show we had, and everything we said centered around the betterment of Liberia, and this is what I want us to always keep saying. And my closing goes to the young people because they are the direct inheritance of everything that's going to happen in Liberia. If Liberia will be successful, we need vibrant, smart, innovative young men who are very calm, and not people who will just resort into violence. We want young people who will find amicable ways to resolve issue than resorting to throwing their fists and using invectives or profanity. So the show was good. And I want to say in this manner that the action of the representative was uncalled for. There are other ways that you can still, even if people calling you on the side or telling you to speak to the speaker or call the speaker, if you know you're not comfortable with it, you could still hand over the mic and walk outside. It's your right, But if you go on the extreme and you start using words on your colleagues, I don't think that is becoming too uncalled for, and it is embarrassing because now the entire house is being televised. Nelson is in there with a camera. All the everything is on social media. Everybody watching you, and they say this is our Liberian representative. Every time you go into session, they have to show you out. And what exactly your people going to benefit from you now? A whole district is on your shoulder. One of the biggest and largest districts on your shoulder. So we have to change the method. There's another way you can, address your information and put our information out there, and it can still resonate with the Liberian people. But we are tired with this, and violence, the kind of a posture is not helping. So the salary got a cut, and you see all that fighting will be over. Thank you.
Charles, you want to do your closing?
Yeah, Nelson. Again, it was a nice show. To our people in the comment section, I want to say thank you again for following. That's in one thing that I feel is a problem until we get the constitution settled, until we get a whole referendum thing settled. But one thing that I've noticed in the House of Representatives and the House of Senate is the issue about they take this thing to committee room. I think the House of Representatives and Senate need to be an open book to the Liberian people. Nothing about secret section, because most of those things that go to committee room, go to secret sections, those are things that they don't want the Liberian people to know. That's the reason why they take it to secret sections, or they take it to committee room and all that kind of stuff and things. And those things are things that is hindering our democracy. That are things that are hindering our people, that are hindering the progress of Liberia. That's saying, can you imagine there are hospitals in Liberia don't have ambulances? There are hospitals in Masorado County don't have drugs. Someone will get sick from Bannersville, they will have to take that person all the way to town, take them places. What kind of country are we running? And we say we have lawmakers, we say we have people that are in the interest of Liberia. No, I think we need to have a turnaround in the way things are proceeding in our country, and it has to do with our young people. We need to step up. At this point, we need to be very conscious in our decision, very careful in our decision we make in electing people or discussing things about people around. Because those people you're discussing about, they don't have your time. They have their time and their children and their family, where majority of the people suffer. No rice, no this, no that, and it is hindering us as Liberians. And let me also, commend the president. Though his speech was not something that I 100% agree with, but there's a point in it that I actually take, and I want to commend him for that. The issue about the airport and negotiating with other airlines and things to come to the country. This is very welcoming news, and we want to say thank you for that, and we hope that we'll do better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want to... Well, Nelson, thank you for having us. Look, we did not talk about the tourism bill, but I want to end up talking about the tourism bill because I heard you lay out what the bill would entail. That there is a proposal being made for Liberia to have a separate ministry that will focus on tourism, the Ministry of Tourism. Now, I want to say, instead of having a ministry, I embrace the idea of ministry because there are several countries.
That is a tourism authority, national tourism authority.
Not national, so it's not a ministry. Great. National tourism authority. Great. That's even
autonomous agency under the ministry.
That's better, and I think that's a brilliant idea. I really think that's a brilliant idea because with that, Nelson, they can focus on, they can prioritize tourism, they can prioritize everything that has to do with tourism, right? And that way they can be more effective to really structure that agency. Liberia is rich. I always say it, I always tell people, we have untapped tourism potential. We have the beautiful beaches, we have the rainforest, we have several national parks. In fact, there are other parks that we haven't named. You know what I'm saying? By having a dedicated agency will really just allow them to specialize on focusing on tourism policy. They will focus on infrastructure development. They will focus on marketing. They will focus on the sustainability of tourism in the country. You need people that understand business, that understand natural resources, the beauty of our country, the natural beauty of our country. You also need people from the diaspora to join that team. People, diverse people to come together to really maximize, Nelson, the beauty of our country. People that are arguing against it and say will cost us additional money, we are talking about making billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. When this is properly done. Let me tell you, countries that have focused on having ministry, agency that squarely focus on tourism, they make millions. Kenya has a ministry of tourism. South Africa, they have a department that focuses on tourism. I mean, let's come to West Africa. Ghana, Ministry of Tourism. They have a Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture that just focus on promoting the culture, the beauty of Ghana, attracting people to Ghana. We need the same for Liberia. We need to showcase the beauty of our country. And we need a specialized team that would do that for our country so that we can make billions of dollars by inviting people to the country. Thank you, Nelson, for having us. I know you're tired. Thank you for staying.
Nelson, let me read George Vanning comment here. George Vanning said we need to put ban on all government officials for seeking medical treatment outside the country. And that is very, very important. That is very, very important. I welcome that statement. I welcome that statement. I encourage that statement. And I want to say, George, thank you very much for even posting that. Because if we just keep them in our country, they'll be serious to develop the health sector. Thank you.
As good as some of these things may sound, there are certain rights as an individual you have.
Right.
You know, and
if you want to be officials of government, you should be all those keep in that scope.
Being an official is not, you know, a death sentence or some macho some praising they put you in. No, it should be, you know, that space where you go to serve your country and you still enjoy some rights and, you know, some basic rights. I should decide which health facility I want to go to, even here in Liberia.
Cindy,
decide whether or not I want to go abroad for, you know, health issues. So yeah.
Cindy, aware of criterion that have been set for people to contest to become representative for a district? Have you looked it up to see?
Yeah.
I mean, the way we can just, you know.
No, there are criteria.
There are criteria.
But do we follow them? Do we follow them? That's the thing.
Imagine somebody who gave the
guys for that news show.
One of the criteria says you should live in your district for a certain period of time. What about my man that can leave the US and just go register and vote and run?
Guys, we have to go. I want to say thank you.
Again.
No, it's important. It's important.
I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Fambule. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Cindy. We look forward to having another great show tomorrow. Until then, have a good night, everyone, and bye-bye for now.
Thank you, Nelson.